Hello and welcome back to our small Australian zoo. And I just noticed that we actually have pretty white dogs. I mean, they're not supposed to be white, but here in the shadow you can actually notice the difference between the white-orange sandy fur and the white-orange sandy fur? What game? So it seems like white-orange sandy fur and white-orange sandy fur are still pretty different. I don't know if that's also still a bug. Either way, they look cool. Savannah Rocks, we have desert rocks, and we have these new red desert rocks that are obviously for the Australian biome more than anything. I don't know of any other places that have like bright red rocks other than Australia, honestly. I mean, that's sort of what Australia is famous for, right? It's red sand and rocks. I was in an area that had like black sand before because of volcanic activity, but oh, no red sand. Anyways, that's not why we're here, is it? I'm not gonna hold a speech about sand. Even though sand is very, very important. But, yeah, unimportant enough to hold a speech about it. If there's anything, is there anything else I would like to add? I really love these, but I sort of wanna, I don't know if they're climbable. I don't think they are. Would have loved to just build a habitat out of these for like animals that could climb. But we don't have animals that can climb here, so I'm not sure how well... we have animals that can climb, it's just not climbable. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know how well that would work, but it's quite cool. There's these decorative logs, which you can obviously use if you're going for more of an, you know, indigenous look. Pattern pieces and planks. Can I like build a little bridge out of these, like a little platform? I mean, I suppose I can, right? I don't even know what I'm gonna call this series yet. Maybe I'm just gonna go with I discovered the Australian pack and now I'm playing around with it. I don't know. It's really a nice pack, like for what it is, which is another DLC. I mean, I know that most of us were hoping for like a bigger pack, but we didn't get that. We got another DLC, which is also pretty cool. If you ask me. I know that some people would like to say that they really don't care for it, which is also okay, you know. I mean, of course, it's not, you know, it's not a huge pack. It's just another one of these small-ish packs. And I understand that some people aren't, you know, huge fans of that. And as always, there's also some people who don't like the animals, but I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, for what it is, for what it's worth. It's $10. You don't have to get it. And I don't know why I put that there. It's just had to put it there. Canvas painting, Dreaming Country, Earth, Water, Sky, Fire, John Smith, Garumba. Are these like actual paintings that they... It looks like it, because there's sign and everything. It's quite interesting. Oh! Wolf agrees. Very interesting. Oh, I love these desert plants. Why are they not Australian? I mean, I get that they're not Australian, so... You know, they had to be somewhat true to whatever they were going to put in here. Can just make all plants Australian because they look... There, now they have a little platform to jump into the water. I know the one thing I'm gonna miss the most when I whenever I stop passing this game is just taking screenshots because there's so many of them and they're all so pretty. And look at them play! There's very few things that are as wonderful in life as just watching animals in Planet Zoo play. And the fact that this one is white, even though it doesn't say that it's white, irritates me, but I'm gonna go with it's a bug. It's okay. Let's decorate the inside of this thing. I mean, we're leaving the idea that this was once an old farm by actually putting stuff inside that probably wouldn't be in an old farm, but you know, I want to ensure they get food and everything. Did I put up a food tray anymore? I don't think so. No. They don't really get food trays, they just get their food in like, you know, all the nutriments. Which is fair enough. You know, they don't really need food trays. Still want a bubble machine though. And I can't place it. No. Yeah, they can just have some balls and stuff to play in there. Just taking a screenshot of the pack. Whenever the pack feels like being screenshotted. And yeah, there we've got our nice and simple habitat for dingoes. And over here we've got ice machines and shot smooth drink machine. I'll showcase the new exhibit animal next, which by the way comes in this gorgeous styled exhibit that, like, wow, this looks great. I love this. I mean, I love a lot of the pre-designs because I just like the style in it. And also, it's turquoise. Like, there's blue. There's blue, and there's oranges, and I like blue and oranges. So when something has blues and oranges, I'm happy. These are the new animals. Which are the eastern blue-tongued lizards. We're in here already. I think they get instantly delivered, right? Just can't see them. Actually too hot for them. We're in Australia. How is it too hot for you? You're supposed to be from here. Oh. And some lambs and some fallen trees. Let's see if we can find any of them. You know, as always, there's one here, and they're both here. Right in the corners. One here and one there, just hiding out. Now you see me and now you don't. If you look real close, you can probably see their actual blue tongues. Like whenever they set them out real quick. Yeah. Yep. Blip. Blip. We'll see if they leave their home anytime soon to talk to the visitors. And you know, wouldn't be too certain about it. It's gotta be pretty comfy in there. We even have these lizard signs that I could just like put one up here. So that people know that technically speaking there's a lizard in here. The game also put these mosaics in here. These wall decoration pieces. Which, you know, you can say whatever you want to about them, but they're cool. A kangaroo and a koala, and this is a cassowary. It's not a dingo otherwise. This is really, really gorgeous as well. Here, this little cutout thing, just gonna, which has a cassowary on it. Cassowaries are great. And people seem to love these machines, and I think that they're great too. You know, no need to hire staff. No need to hire anyone, in fact. And, well, we've got a pretty well-functioning small zoo here. Which is pretty awesome. Considering the fact how most of my zoos end up. I'm gonna have like a habitat for kangaroos somewhere, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do about the cassowaries and the koalas, because technically speaking, I mean the red kangaroo is desert and grassland. We've got saltwater crocodiles, which are tropical. We've got the cassowary, which is tropical. In case you haven't seen a cassowary, this is a cassowary. And we've got... Well, I suppose we can squeeze the Komodo in here, right? Komodo dragon? it's close enough to Australia, right? And the koala, which is tropical and temperate, actually. It's so cute and fluffy. Sadly, all of the numbers we have about the existence of these animals are before fire season 2019-2020, because, you know, before the whole everyone is now sick and in quarantine thing happened, there were pretty bad bushfires in Australia. I think they're all gone now. Oh, they really play nicely with the water, but obviously they had a huge impact on wildlife. Especially wildlife such as koalas that is literally too stupid to go off their trees. Like, don't get me wrong, koalas are awesome, but they're also sort of stupid. Like we just gotta admit it, they're not the brightest fluff in the tree. You know, you could say that taking into consideration that their main rivals are sloths, they are indeed the brightest fluff in the tree. How about like green? Not bright green, but like, you know, like green and wood. I'm just thinking about doing like a semi-modern koala house. We'll see what I'm doing when I'm done. Maybe. Those of you who know me know that I like building houses instead of like traditional habitats. I think they look cool. I think they're a great way to sort of give, you know, character. And since koalas don't need a lot of space, this should technically speaking work. I'm going sort of with the idea of, you know, like, there's been a bushfire. We need to put some koalas in here, but we don't really have any proper koala habitats, so now they just get sort of like these here. I used green because I like green. And, you know, you can sort of take this front area here and cut that off, and you'd still have enough space for all the koalas if you gave them trees high enough. We just have to run glass through here. One way or another. Probably one way. I don't know how shy koalas are. I genuinely don't. Haven't looked at that part of the Zoopedia yet. Sure. But you know, one-way glass is never a bad idea. Even when the animal isn't all that shy. These here you can all just do with normal glass, technically speaking. Since, you know, we wouldn't really have to deal with visitors on this side anyways. One-way glass, thank you. Oh, well, actually, yeah, not non-one-way glass, more like. The separate koala habitat that I'm going to build is probably going to be like a normal outdoor habitat. I'm just playing around with the different items that we got a little. And I like the idea of these little container bits. You know, it's quite unique, really, that you can just take containers. Oh no, it's not long enough and this one is too long, right? That's the main issue that I always encounter with glass in this game. Oh, it's fine. So, yeah, you know, koalas have like this little indoor space here that you can easily expand one floor upwards by just doing this. And then working onwards from that. And visitors can just stay in the front space. So that they don't actually interfere with the koalas. Why did you delete my color? But at the same time, you'll have like a space that you can use no matter the temperature. And it's probably also going to protect you from a fair amount of fires. That would be my guess, because just thinking about the amount of fire damage Australia has every year. Oh, that's quite insane. Imagine just like living there and your house burns down every other year. I mean, at that point, you'd probably just move somewhere else, right? I don't know. I probably would, but... I mean, like, some people really love their homes, right? So they probably wouldn't move, even knowing that their homes are just gonna get moved again. Yeah, Australia just doesn't feel like a good place to live safely. You want to avoid fire. Maybe if you're like really good with fire because you're like a fireman or something, and not only do you know how to put out fires, you also know how to ensure that your house doesn't burn. Ever. Maybe then it's actually a decent place to move to. I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with living in areas like that. Oh, look at that, you can actually turn them around a bit to get different patterns and everything, that's cool. So yeah, I live in an area that's very different from Australia. We don't have bushfires. We have snow. And all the damage that snow can cause, but no bushfires, so... You know, the idea that there's just going to be a fire that's going to destroy everything is a little unusual to me, because we don't really have hardcore fires. Like, yes, we have fire damages because people are throwing matches into the woods, even though they're specifically being told not to because the woods are very dry. But that's about it. It's also always something where I'm like, you know, the government literally told you not to do it. Why are you doing it? Because there's always that, you know, like, most bushfires don't cause themselves. I suppose it's a different thing in Australia, where the fires are sort of almost part of like a natural rhythm. So they do indeed cause themselves, but... I mean, you know, in essence, fires aren't bad. They replenish nature and stuff. Just when they're destroying everything, they get bad. And it's just a big issue when that is hardly recognized, or it's hard to do anything against it, and it's just destroying your whole wildlife. Because you sort of need that wildlife. Not only for like tourism and everything, but just... I mean, just think about what some places would be without their animals. Imagine if, like, kangaroos were gone. Not a pretty vision. And I'm not even Australian, I just like them. I like koalas more, but still. I know this is a terrible roof, you don't need to tell me. I am fully aware of what I'm doing. Where can I color it? What? Take the color, thank you. But yeah, a lot of people were confused when there was no Australia pack after the bushfires. So where the South America pack came, a lot of people were actually expecting an Australian pack because of the bushfires. I was one of those people too. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, like, they're definitely gonna like do something about that now and like showcase that, but no. Well, it's not the prettiest. It's actually pretty ugly. Yeah. I don't think I've quite gotten a hang of this modern modern building yet. I don't think a koala painting on the wall is gonna fix it either. Not even straight on there. Maybe a map. Maybe some actual paintings might save it. Because they're sort of in the style of this, like in this modern, weird style that this whole building has. It's weird and modern, okay? Like it's fine. There's gonna be a koala grill outside. This is actually a lamp, but it just looks like a huge koala grill, and I love it. If I write on this, if I say like koala, where is it written? Oh, that's a little weird. I was hoping for, although I suppose you could just change the font, right? To make it look different. To give it the vibes you want it to have. Okay, the grid isn't perfect. The grid is in fact very far from perfect. Good. Sometimes the grid works well, sometimes it doesn't. Today is definitely one of the latter days, but that's okay. I'm literally just trying to get a habitat for koalas so that they can look cute, okay? And hate on me another day. Maybe around here. No, just... I mean, actually, why not? You know, why not? All I have to do is remove this thing entirely and replace it with like a door piece or something. Which the people should be able to walk through. Right? Technically speaking. And then I could just pull the path out somewhere like this. I mean, obviously it would have to be an actual staff path because we do not want the people on our paths. When the game came out, there were quite some bugs with that, and you just randomly have people stuck on staff paths, like in the middle of the staff path. Like after the first 50 meters, people would suddenly start getting stuck or something. Ah yes, the happenings of the early game. I need to start here and with a null barrier. There we go. You know, for all that has happened to this game and for all the many errors it had in the beginning, it's actually doing pretty well. It's also funny how so many people area builder. That's what happens when you play in an alternative account. You get achievements for literally everything. A lot of people have taken to it also because of the building function, which I found pretty interesting because it's originally a zoo game, but now it's just like a zoo game where you can build, or a building game where you can zoo. Yeah, let's find our koalas. I think we can have up to 4. 1 male and 3 females, so let's do that. Willow and Abigail and Thomas and Harvey and Chloe and Mason and Emma. These are all pretty cute names. And then this is gonna be their little shelter from the bushfires, I suppose. There's holes in the roof. It's fine. They're not that picky. But yeah, I mean, if you take this and properly turn it into a nice building, it might actually look cool. Anyways, hello koala. They're so cute. I just love the way they look. Yeah, way too much sand, of course. They want grass. By the way, this Australian grass, I don't know if it's just because everything else has, like, reddish undertones. But to me this has really greenish undertones. Like green-blue almost. Like mint, a little. So the koalas get an eucalyptus tree feeder, which is pretty damn cool. They also get this shelter, but they have a shelter. They don't need shelters in here. They've got me. And a mobile and a scent marker enrichment. And I'm gonna put some leaves in the back, but I don't think they're ever gonna use them. Yes, they'll be climbing all day anyways. That's sort of the idea of koalas. I mean, they're sort of like sloths. They only go down when they have to. Also, they don't really drink water, but I think I still have to give them water. I'm just gonna assume that. But in the wild, koalas don't really drink water. They just get water from the eucalyptus leaves. Yes, that's how good they are at eating. It's just like, you know, like eucalyptus leaves, they have some water content, and that's apparently enough for these little guys. Which sort of makes, I mean, they're tiny, right? And they just sleep all day, so I suppose it makes some sense. But at the same time, it's really, really cool. I mean, there's very, very few beings that can live from just the water in their food. Most have to sort of, you know, get additional liquid from somewhere, and koalas are just like, nope. I don't need additional liquid, I have my eucalyptus leaf. I'm gonna give them like a little water hole over here. I'm gonna put some stones around that. These are tropical. Okay, well. Suppose the tropical stones we have are mostly mossy stones now. Which are actually really, really cool if you look at them and look at them. I mean, they're bright green, which is great. They're mossy, which is great. They're not slippery, I think. Moss is usually really slippery, but I don't think the animals are gonna slip if they touch it. It would be like a nice detail, but I don't know. Also, it would sort of be painful for the animal, right? Just like, weep. Oops, got a moss rock. Guess I slipped. Guess I broke my leg. Now I need a vet. Yeah, that wouldn't really be a good reason to have them. Anyways, a tropical and temperate Oceania, obviously. Oceania? I don't even know how you pronounce it in English. I'm just gonna go ahead and butcher my pronunciation. Eucalyptus leaves. Eucalyptus, eucalyptus, eucalyptus. Ringwood eucalyptus. You know, koalas are really, really picky with the eucalyptus they eat and don't eat, which is actually pretty fun. And eucalyptus is poisonous, in case you didn't know that. But they can eat it because they're awesome. By they, I mean koalas. They have like they're like pandas, but like giant pandas, but properly done. Okay, no, that's too big. In the way that the stuff they're evolved to eat, they can actually eat, and they're actually evolved to eat it. It's not just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat plants now even though I'm a bear. No, they actually know what they're doing. Most of the time. Sometimes they're just koalas. Which is also okay, you know. You're allowed to sometimes just be a koala. All of us are. I don't think these are new. Oh, I think they are actually. They're pretty. They're desert trees, yeah. That's the thing, the game lets me place them if I go by tropical and temperate. But as soon as I place them, the animal will actually complain about them. So I think there's another issue there. They're gonna have to work out. I mean, there's always like those few issues in there, right, when the game comes out, so... I'm optimistic that by the time we next take a look at this game, most of this is going to be cleaned up. Okay. But for now, let's just take a look at our koalas before I get any more plants in here in the next episode. You can climb, you know that, right? I love their little paws. I mean, just look at them. I don't think they got the monkey animations. I think they actually gave them new animations. I mean, they're just so uniquely weird. They have to get new animations. Yeah. I love koalas, in case you couldn't tell. They're cute and fluffy and maybe a little stupid, but also cute and fluffy. And they carry their baby on their back. I don't know if they'll actually do that in here. In real life, like koalas always have their babies on their back or in their pouches, but I doubt that they're actually doing pouches here, because then they'd also have to have pouches for the koalas, for the kangaroos. A different topic. Let's take a look at it. Oh, Alexander. Yes. What? Okay, that one got stuck in the wall. Our baby that we just had. Cute. Anyways, I think I'm gonna leave it at that for this episode. And, you know, I hope I'll see you again in the next one.